well coordinated and pre-planned, and those involved were paid to do so. This from National Security Minister Stuart Young on Tuesday's protest demonstrations in and around Port of Spain at a news conference to address the situation today. More in this report from Khrystal Wilson.
Is that these obviously orchestrated attempts that are now spreading are just that. The information that has come to hand is that these are being orchestrated. Persons on the ground have personally contacted me to say money is being paid to persons to go out and to create disturbance.
The words of National Security Minister Stuart Young on Tuesday in response to violent demonstrations in North Trinidad. The riots came on the heels of the shooting deaths of 3 men who were killed in Morval by members of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service last weekend. At the press conference, Minister Young denounced the violent activity and said this type of behavior was not what's expected of law-abiding citizens. He said there were people who were being paid for their involvement and the payments were made by an unspecified party.
On who is behind the stirring up of the criminal elements. When we're getting reports from the ground of people being paid to go and create disturbance, who is it that are paying people? Who is it that stands to gain by disrupting the peace and quiet of our city of Port of Spain?
The National Security Minister urged members of the public not to panic and said full protection is being provided for law-abiding citizens.
The Defence Force are going to provide full support to the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, and we are going to protect all of our law-abiding citizens, regardless of where you are.
Minister Young acknowledged that emotions were high at the time, but assured that the matters were being investigated by both the Police Complaints Authority and the TTPS. He also confirmed that political leader of the New National Vision, Fuad Abubakar, was arrested for his involvement in Tuesday's protests in Port of Spain. Khrystal Wilson, TTT News.
And the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is assuring members of the public that the well-orchestrated plan to destabilize the country by a few has been quelled. According to the police, so far 72 people have been arrested and others are expected to be charged when investigations are completed. Following protests in Port of Spain and environs earlier today, the TTPS responded by saying intelligence has revealed that this was an orchestrated plan that was led by several gang members using the shooting of 3 young men on the weekend as a front to cover a plot to shut down the country. Confirmation that there has been 1 casualty, a woman, and investigations are underway to determine the cause of her death. The TTPS also says, based on prior intelligence, mere hours before these criminal elements commenced their act, the TTPS was prepared. The operation is ongoing and the Commissioner of Police has directed that the alert state for the TTPS remains at red and the nation would be under heavy police surveillance for the next 48 hours. The Commissioner of Police is also giving the assurance to the nation that the recent incident involving the death of 3 men in Morval is being thoroughly investigated both by the TTPS and also the independent body of the Police Complaints Authority. He says when the findings are completed, the nation would be informed and the TTPS would act in accordance with what was revealed.